My name is Tarek Atrissi. I am an AB graduate and I run my own design studio based in Barcelona, Tarek Atrissi Design. I've been as well a visiting professor at the UB, teaching at the graphic design department. The early years were the best as setting up a design studio. You graduate as a creative person and you set up a business and you start to navigate between being a creative person, the artistic practice and the business practice, and having a financially stable business. As for finding your voice as a designer, I think you'll be beyond teaching us to what is design and how to practice design. There was a big focus on our identity as Arab designers, as designer working with bilingual scripts, with Arabic, with Latin. And this really made the focus of the program not on becoming designers, generic designers, studying international design, but really how to find your own identity and how to define our own Arab identity in design. And I think that was a key point in forming my own voice. Typography is, as we say as typographers, when it's used in print, it's the voice of the page. And in the context of branding, it's the voice of the brands. And a voice tells you a lot more than what it's saying. When you look at a certain era and you see typography from a specific era, you learn a lot more about the cultural context, the political context, the aesthetics of the time. When you see the style, how it's written, the influences of tradition, how things are being modernized, how technology is reflected through printing techniques, development and communication. So in that sense, typography tells you a lot more about the identity, the context, the culture, and much more as well. When I set up my design studio, we were primarily working as a graphic design studio and working in branding as well and creating a lot of brands. I had a very limited set of fonts to use in day-to-day life. I think I had 15 to 20 fonts, and that was 26 years ago, digital fonts available on the computer. So it was difficult to have a unique voice, to have something that's not overused and a voice that's used by everyone. And this is where the interest started in creating a typography that's different, that's unique, that stands up, that really fits the specific project we are working on. And this is how we got into designing typefaces, really by lack of available typefaces, and we saw an opportunity in it as a studio. So if we are working on an identity of a branding of a newspaper, we couldn't find this bold typeface that we have to use for the masthead of the newspaper. And we created our own typefaces, and bit by bit other clients started to come to us and tell us, hey, we also want a font that's really for us, that really reflects our brand identity, that's really unique to us. The program at AUB was incredible. It was the graphic design program at AUB was the first graphic design program in the region, in the Arab world, being taught at the university. So we felt like part of something very special, and it was something very special. It helped us define a personality and identity towards design, but it was a very solid program as well. It was solid in the sense that it taught us how to practice design, but also how to understand it and how to approach design from a research perspective. So it was very emotional to be back at AUB as a visiting professor, of course, because you have a wonderful experience, personal experience, academic experience as a student, and then you come back to the same place where you feel you learned a lot, where it formed a big part of your professional career, of your personal career, but coming from a different perspective at a different time. Some things are very similar, some things have changed. So I always say teaching, when you teach any subject, but design specifically, you end up as a teacher learning more than you give, actually. Your way of understanding design is questioned by the students. They bring a different perspective. You understand a different generation. You understand a different generation as a target audience from your own work as well, how they see the world, how they understand visual culture, what interests them, how they behave, but also how they implement new technology in design and how they challenge your perception of things. I think UB did a fantastic job. As I said, as a first program teaching graphic design in the region, in a university context, it played a very important role in shaping the graphic design scene today, and eventually playing a big role in shaping the history of graphic design across the Arab world. Because if I look at the first 6 to 10 generation that went out, a lot of people went in different specialities, different paths, and everybody became in a way a reference in what they focused on. And people spread around the world and across the Arab world and helped build the history of design across different cities and different countries. So it played an incredible role in defining the scene of graphic design and typography across the Arab world.